Today on Leafscope, could the Leafs come back after another slow start? Hats were thrown on the ice. Who made it rain? And what line needs a mix-up for next game? Welcome to Leafscope. As per usual, I'm your host, Peter Bojarinov. Leafs down 2-0, 7 minutes into the second, only to come back and win 4-2. Good job, buds. Good job doing it for your coach. Trending now, Phil Kessel, the man of many hats. A hat trick by Phil with 3 beauty goals. Woo! Time for the rocks and stars. Not awful rocks, but bad rocks. First one, Nazem Kadri. Just an invisible game overall. He hasn't been playing that well so far this season, but he's still getting some points. Tonight, Carlisle did play him on the second line with Lupul, so you'd think he'd have a good game. He was noticeable once or twice, but not much. He needs to get to net more, and that's what we need to see out of Kadri. Get to net more and try to play more. He was also bad on faceoffs again tonight, only 31%. Just another pretty invisible night from Nazem. He's only scored 3 goals. He does have some points. He's only scored 3 goals, which is still pretty good. But 2 were tap-ins on the power play. If other guys were on the power play, they might have some goals like that. So he's got to work a little bit harder, especially 5-on-5, and get to net more. The other one, again, a bit of a rough one, Cody Franson. He basically cost the Leaf the 2 goals that were scored on Bernier tonight. On the first one, he went in too deep, and the Ducks got a 2-on-1 and scored. Didn't help, obviously, with Bodie falling on Franzen and he couldn't get back fast enough. On the second one, Riley got caught behind the net, and then Perreault walked all the way in front, and while that was happening, Franzen was covering the man closer to net instead of trying to take on Perreault, who ended up shooting and scoring. So he's got to switch up, even though Riley got caught a little bit behind the net. He's got to switch up and take the shooter. He still had a decent game overall, but those were 2 costly errors that basically were his fault. He had, I think, 3 giveaways, but he also had 3 takeaways. So, not such a great night for Cody. And now for the stars. First off, we'll go with 2 guys that had probably their best games of the season. Wasn't too noticeable, though. Colton Orr, he pushed the puck up the ice a lot, did some pretty good forechecking, and actually, I think, created 2 power plays for Leafs. So he had played a pretty good game. And also, Jake Gardiner, just smooth skating tonight. Very stable on D. And I think he showed a lot of confidence tonight, and that was good. Both played probably their best games of the season. The big 3. Jonathan Bernier kept the Leafs in this game. Made some big saves late in the first, early in the second, and then when the Leafs came back and woke up and started playing really well, he still made some big, solid saves in the third. Then, of course, the big 2. James Van Riemsdyk and Phil Kessel. Wow, these guys were amazing tonight. The first one, for Phil, obviously. JVR with an amazing spin around, falling down pass over into an open Phil Kessel on the other side net. Wow, they didn't know what was coming to him. Jonas Hiller was shocked. Second one, Phil Kessel again. This is the amazing one, but that apparently Ranger got an assist on. 2-on-1, Kessel walks into zone, and JVR streaking over to create a 2-on-1. What does Kessel do? Just what I was thinking. As I was yelling at the screen, wait, shoot, and boom! Phil Kessel does the same, and he snipes it top corner. What a shot, and Phil Kessel, as I always say, has one of the best wrist shots in the NHL, matching Joe Sakic, who obviously doesn't play anymore. And of course, the third goal but for Phil was another beautiful pass by JVR, going around a fallen Francois Beauchemin, and a nice backhanded pass to Kessel, who one-times it over Jonas Hiller for his third goal, the hat trick. Great job, buds. Keep it up. My hustle of the night, as per usual, goes to Dion Phaneuf. Just a great solid game from him. He led the game with over 24 minutes of action and with 6 hits. Boom! Dion created a big turnaround with his big hit in the defensive zone, which helped turn around the game. And he also finished it with +2. Impact of the game has got to be those 78 seconds in the second period. I thought about 3-4 minutes into the second, the Leafs changed it totally around. They had about 3 great scoring chances. The one in tight, Jay McClement basically shoots it right into Hiller's glove. Could have gone, but again, McClement's not a finisher. Another one, I think it was on the power play or such. Kadri had a totally open Lupul in front because the defenseman fell down. Don't know why he didn't pass. If he did, Lupul probably would have scored. And the third one, the 2-on-1, I think, I'm not too sure who passed it up to Raymond, but he shot it right at Hiller's pad. Could have went over, but it was still a big save by Hiller. He was trying to keep them in the game, but he couldn't. Dion Phaneuf with a big hit and 2 beauty goals by Kessel, and Dion turned the total game around. Good job. My recommendations with David Clarkson coming back. I'd like to see him on that second line with Kadri back on the left, Kadri centering, and David on the right. I think he could be that straw that stirs that drink, and that's what that line needs to really wake up, give that punch, and scoring threat. Again, if you have any questions for Leafscope, tweet Leafscope or email leafscope@gmail.com. Again, thanks for watching. Great job, guys. See you next time.
Leafscope, Leafscope.